Armstrong High School in Plymouth. A beautiful early September, early evening here for Northwest Suburban Conference Boys Soccer as the Falcons from Armstrong host Totino-Grace. Both teams coming off 0-0 ties in their Monday night openers. I'm Jay Wilcox along with Sig Ligry, and there's Marcus Anthony, the new head coach for Armstrong. And Sig, somewhat similar stories for both of these teams in that both of them graduated quite a bit from last year, and both of them said on Monday night, generally we played pretty well, controlled the play, but just didn't get enough quality chances, and you see neither team able to put anything away. So that's kind of the next piece of the puzzle, I think, for both these young teams.
Yeah, it's a different situation when you lose a lot of people from last year and you have to bring in some new folks. So that's the good news and bad news. Bad news, you're losing some of your key players, but the good news is you get some young players who can be conditioned and trained the way you want them to bring them into the program, and then in the following years they become key players and you have a much stronger team. See,
last year Totino-Grace beat Armstrong rather handily. However, Armstrong finished 1 point ahead of the Eagles in the Northwest Suburban standings. They had one fewer tie or whatever. They were very tightly bunched, and both teams, I think, would probably say coming in it might be difficult to be at that level just because of so many new faces. I think Grace in particular lost kind of a once in a generation kind of team a little bit, or certain players anyway, that had really been with their team for a long time and were really skillful and everything. So obviously for both sides we have quite a few guys who are either new to the varsity or new to the roles that they'll be in with this varsity team this year.
Right. So if you were a midfielder last year, you may be a defender or a winger. But as we said, that gives the coach a flexibility of moving players around and build your team around how those players develop.
Both teams too talking about, obviously, you're just sort of crossing your fingers on whether this whole season will get played and everything. And knock on wood, haven't really heard much in terms of issues with any of the soccer teams just yet. I wouldn't say none, but it hasn't been a major thing where games have had to been postponed, on a widespread basis or anything like that. But I think everybody has in the back of their mind that that's something that you have to think about too. So it sort of means that, each game you sort of treasure and cherish and get out here and play. And especially when there's only 11 regular season games too, you can't really afford to be thinking long term. You kind of have to just really zero in. And as Coach Anthony from Armstrong said, I told the guys it's a brand new year. You got to respect every opponent but fear none of them. And we got to come out and do our things and play the game the right way. And, the outcome will hopefully take care of itself.
And that's the right message to send to the players. Not, don't focus on last year. Don't focus on the previous game. Focus on what did we do right, and if we didn't do something right, then how do we make the adjustment and move forward? But stay positive, stay energetic. So it's kind of nice to hear that from both coaches, because they both feel the same way. Well, we have a second here. We were told by Bill Vance that he has relatives in Illinois who are watching the streaming of this game. So to people in Illinois, welcome to our broadcast. As you can see, we have a beautiful upper Midwest day, about 72 degrees, bright sunshine, not much wind, humidity or dew point right around 47 or 48. Looking down the field, we have the officials for this match. Center referee is Paul Rizdal. AR1 is Mark Case, and AR2 is Darren Ray. The Totino-Grace players are on the field, but not in position yet, and Armstrong has yet to take the field.
Each team with seniors in goal, and we'll start with a look at the Eagles. Leo Conforti, they lost a keeper from last year who ended up going to Shattuck, so Conforti seized the opportunity. Leesman, Wolf, Pittman along the back line for the Eagles. Kane, Maury, Mihalich. Connor Swanson's really one to watch, number 11, and Roddy Hood, Peterson, and Yazbek for the Eagles. And then on the other side of the coin for Armstrong, and they've got Andres Aguado as their keeper. Albrecht Castro Halverson is one of their captains, along with Elijah Duke, Mana, Aiden Grawl, Daniel Jacobson, Hunt, McCoy, and Miller. To round out the lineup, McCoy, another captain for Armstrong. They got about a handful, 5 or 6, who played some meaningful minutes on the varsity level a year ago. So definitely some sophomores who will see key roles this year, and a couple of freshmen up with their varsity unit as well. Whereas Grace, pretty much junior and senior group, it looks like. We'll have the girls telecast for you as well on CCX, of course. Northwest Suburban double headers starting the season Monday, Wednesday, which typically hadn't been nights that you would have seen soccer for the most part. But I think there's some balancing out. You know, you had to kind of shuffle the schedules to get everybody on the same with having just 2 games a week. So my guess is, I haven't really verified this with people, but I think certain conferences probably said, we'll take these nights, you take those, because of officials, for one thing.
Sure.
You couldn't, since going to be limiting travel and limiting Saturday games for the most part, you have to be flexible in that regard too, so that you don't wind up short on officials. Armstrong will bring it back to Aguado here early on, but then a little bit of pressure, so he ends up clearing it out of play, and Totino-Grace will get a throw. Here's a look at Aguado. His teammate didn't separate as much as he had maybe hoped there, and he kind of just had to hook that ball away to make sure it wasn't a direct turnover there. So we get a throw coming up here for the Eagles. Pittman will throw it in down toward the corner. That one's headed out of play, and another throw coming up for Grace.
And this one about 4 yards from the end line. And we'll try it again.
Swanson, wearing that captain's armband there, gets the throw and a high bounce to the front. Armstrong is first to it, but not out of danger yet. Now lifted out by Micah Miller. Leesman back to regroup here for the Eagles. Plays it nicely to Swanson, and he'll switch it over right side now. Hooks it back left. Nobody quite in a spot to get to it initially anyway. And the Falcons will clear it. It'll go out of play. Throw coming up here for Totino-Grace. So you got things spread out more, of course, on the benches this year with all the COVID-19 precautions. This throw will go Armstrong's way. And I don't know if this is everywhere, but it looks like they're not, choosing not to have ball chasers as much either, so that's gonna could potentially slow the game down a little bit, and obviously you can see why that would be the case. But I think you almost most of the time you were seeing youth soccer players from the whatever with the home team that generally were taking care of those positions, and now it looks like I know we noticed that the other night too. They're not totally without ball chasers, but there's not as many for sure.
Yeah, much more lacking on this game as Armstrong gets the turnover.
Throw taken here by Castro. Falcons able to win that ball back, but then a turnover as Mihelic had it briefly, lost it. Now Swanson digs it free. Swanson will chip it up that left side. And that one mishit. It's going to result in a corner, I believe, here. Yeah, he didn't mean to. I think Castro was trying to knock that one out of play, but not over the end line like that, as kind of tried to tap it outside, and instead, let's see. Oh, I thought it was going to be a corner, but he said throw in.
Okay.
Foul call there against Grace. We'll get a free kick here for Armstrong. We're just a few minutes into the contest, and no score and no chances yet. No shots for either team in the early going as they kind of battle for possession here. Pittman going back to get it. Interesting story with Pittman. This is, they they gained a player because of football not being played in the fall. Pittman's been a club player, but then has been playing football in high school, and this year came out for Totino-Grace high school soccer because football won't have a season until March, if then. Jacob Wolf's pass intercepted. Albrecht sending it ahead. The race is on up the side. There's Pittman. And Bill Vance described him as he plays like a rugby player a little bit. He's a tough, physical guy in the back for Grace, and definitely a good addition to their team.
He seemed pretty happy to have him on the team.
Hunt's pass broken up there, but
whoa,
an overrun.
Whoops.
Boy, Conforti is awful glad that there was nobody in a red jersey around, as that one kind of spun away from him, and that one could have been disaster. Eagles working it up the left side, sending it for Yazbek. Castro running him off that one. Castro will take the throw. Physical takeaway there as Armstrong now looking to move it upfield. There's Swanson stepping in hard, and that's going to be a foul against Armstrong. And it hasn't taken long to see why Coach Vance was high on Connor Swanson. He's had some good-looking plays, a couple takeaways already here for Totino-Grace.
Yeah, he told us he's got a pretty strong midfield group. There's a shove. That's not going to go well for the Armstrong team.
Nathan Hunt whistled for that one, and we get a free kick here for Totino-Grace. Yeah, that one didn't seem to be a very tough one to spot, did it?
No. About 31 yards out. I don't think they'll go directly at the goal, but they don't try to get a redirect.
Ooh, and that one.
Oh, that was nice.
Yeah, that one had some possibilities there, but kind of bounced through everyone before they could get either a header on the initial ball or get a foot up to get a redirect there. But some anxious moments there when those kind of tweeners, when it lands in between a couple players, it's a little bit harder to read for the keeper. See Grace being quite aggressive. They're not conceding any passes here when Armstrong gains possession in the back. Swanson now takes the ball here. See if he'll look out to the right side, and does. Wolf. Swanson getting the return, and now Mihelic. But that one unable to be controlled. We will get a throw here for Armstrong. Elijah Duke will trigger it in here for the Falcons. Most of the play's been in Armstrong's end so far here, but nothing real leading to any kind of chances so far.
Not yet. No shots on goal.
Tried to feed that one through and hammered up out of there by Ryan Kane, and we will get a throw here for Armstrong. Once again, it'll be Duke triggering it in here. Went up onto the shoulder of Aiden Grawl, and now Eagles wind up with it. Trying to swing one through. Nicely read, though, and blocked.
Well, you're right, though. The Totino-Grace players are very aggressive. Look at this. Get right in there and get that takeaway.
Armstrong returning the favor right there, and there's McCoy with a steal for the Falcons. Looking over to Miller. A lot of white jerseys in the way, so he'll kind of pull it back and wait for assistance.
Good patience.
Here's a shot, and it'll bounce wide as Aiden Grawl fired, and Conforti over for a look and lets it go by wide of the mark. So a goal kick upcoming here for Grace, and he is going to go short with this one and just tap it out to his left and see if they can't work it up that left side. Throw coming for the Eagles as Leesman goes to get it. And pop back out of there straight up the middle. Controlled there by Pittman. Nice ball ahead, but then broken up briefly there by Hunt. Hunt is pushed, and we will get a free kick here coming for Armstrong. Calling things pretty tight in the early going here. He's seen guys, when they've gotten the arm extended especially, are going to be whistled.
Yeah, he let them play shoulder to shoulder, but getting the arm extended is probably going to get you a whistle.
Albrecht went hard after that one and got it. A couple nice passes strung together there for Armstrong. McCoy then ran into traffic. And a takeaway there by Wolf. And Eagles weren't on the same page there. Results in a turnover, and Armstrong has some numbers, but there's a nice play to break it up by Pittman. Pittman, I thought, lost a shoe, but honestly, I think it might be a shin guard that came off. Yeah, it is. He's putting it back now. Saw something fly out of there, and I thought it was his shoe. No, he's got them both on. It was the shin guard. Back for Wolf. Oh, that pass snuck through there to Swanson as he shielded off the Armstrong player pretty well. Here comes Leesman. Onto the foot of Roddy Hood. Pretty good passing up the field there for Grace, and now they'll drop it back for Leesman. Gonna switch fields here as he comes across, looking to Mihelic. And they tried to go 1-2-3 there. Swanson playing it ahead. Gonna roll out of play, and we get a throw. Substitutions now for Totino-Grace. As you see coming in for the Eagles, be Prince Cole and also Sehu Diba. Now Pittman. Working it for Ryan Kane. That one goes through everyone and results in a takeaway for Armstrong. Up the middle for McCoy. Trying to send it long upfield.
Nice quick transition that time for Armstrong.
Here's Swanson with a little head of steam. Swanson tried to drag it through the defender and go get it, but it tapped it a little too hard and it rolled into Aguado. Able to come out and grab that one up. Aguado gets plenty of leg on that one. And we get a whistle. Call will go against Armstrong as McCoy was a little too aggressive trying to get that ball back. Free kick coming for Totino-Grace. Swanson dropping it out to the outside for Jacob Wolf. Wolf now for Mihelic down toward the corner. Crossing it there, but didn't quite connect, and they take away for the Falcons. Overall, though, impressive passing for really both teams, but maybe Totino-Grace even more so. They've had a nice spacing, nice shape as they bring it up.
Yeah, they're doing a one-touch, two-touch. Nice, crisp passes. Pretty much on target. Armstrong's been able to pick a few of those off.
And that one didn't click as Albrecht was chasing it up the sideline there. So Eagles will get it right back here with Ryan Kane.
And we'll try from the left side.
Leesman bringing it to the middle towards Swanson. Jabbed away from him, though. Right back they come with Leesman. Sending one toward that corner. And they got to cross away, but a couple of defenders there to stop that one from getting toward the front of the net.
But very good hustle. That ball went down there. He was right after it. And defense had to hustle over there and make a play.
Yeah, I thought when the ball was first passed that he wasn't probably going to have an opportunity to get to it. And that's the thing, you stretch out the defense like that. Even if it didn't quite pay off that time, you plant that seed in their mind.
Yes, exactly.
Deba trying to win that ball back, now takes a return pass. Cole coming back there to help out for the Eagles. Now Swanson makes a move around a defender. Swanson trying to sneak that one through. He was held up a little bit. We're going to get a foul call outside the box against Armstrong, and a free kick coming here for Grace. They kind of hooked his arm, it looked like.
Yeah, because he got turned around as he was manipulating the ball. So just 21 yards out. This could be a shot on goal. And there was bunched up on the right side. Here it comes into the pack.
Duke got up for the header there for Armstrong. He got knocked down, but he made the play. Pittman now controlling it right on that line and bangs it out off an Armstrong player. So a throw coming here for Totino-Grace.
And you can see right there, Pittman is very stocky. Also a very skilled player too as well. Let's see how he is on the throw-in.
Tried to go to Deba, it's knocked away. Miller trying to shield that ball and keep possession, knocked loose, but Armstrong has support behind him. Going to try to go long with it there as McCoy was trying to get a step.
Boy, McCoy did a great job that time, getting just on the outside of the defense, and then as the kick came, he slipped past the defense, but it was intercepted.
Cole dropping it to the corner. Mihelic chipping it to the front, and now follow-up opportunity is mishit. Armstrong didn't hit it that great trying to get it out either, though, and now will be a foul on the Falcons as Wolf had momentum going toward the goal and was knocked down. That one you might almost call a good foul to take there if you're Armstrong, because Wolf, if he had gotten that ball cleanly, he was in a position to either get a shot himself or distribute that one with no defender really near him.
Yep. And every once in a while you get a good foul. That was the case.
But it does result in a free kick opportunity here for Grace in a pretty good spot on the field. Shot ripped, and that one is too high. It's off the football crossbar, so a goal kick upcoming here for the Armstrong Falcons, and no score on the board. Really, as we said, no chances to speak of yet, although I think you'd not a stretch to say that Grace has definitely had the better of things. The ball's been in Armstrong's end of the field quite a bit of the opening minutes here.
Yeah, the Eagles definitely have the edge on possession, but in terms of shots, both teams have one shot each, nothing on goal. So both defenses have been pretty good at stopping the attack, which is the same problem they had on the other night.
Grace throw in here. Coach Anthony didn't think so. He was lobbying for that one for Armstrong. Miller dropping it back to McCoy. Looking up the line here, and going to go back to the keeper, Conforti, and he'll just keep it moving over to the left side. Near takeaway, but Eagles able to recover here. And it was a steal.
Yeah, you don't want to aim that ball towards McCoy. He'll just say thank you very much.
Now Duke trying to get a return pass there, jabbed away, and good hustle to the line, and it's going to be Armstrong's throw. See, it's a warm day. We had a little brief respite. This sounds like this would be one of the warmer days that we've had in a while, and the season started on a very hot night last Thursday. We had Wayzata Edina, and then Monday, actually quite cool for the Osseo Park Center telecast we had. And of course, these teams each played that night as well, with Grace meeting Elk River and Armstrong playing Coon Rapids. Again, both to 0-0 ties despite outplaying the opposition in both cases as well.
In fact, it was so hot and humid in our first game that they had to take water breaks between the halves.
Aguado came out to meet that one, and good thing he got there when he did, because Prince Cole was there to create havoc if that ball had gotten away or if he had been a little too slow to get there. A little bit different in the way that the teams are. They are going to have the water break here, it looks like, I think. Or is this an injury? No, I'm sorry, injury. As Deba was still down for Totino-Grace, now making his way to the bench, slowly hobbling over. Yeah, we weren't quite to the halfway point either, so I jumped the gun on calling that a water break there. See Bill Vance giving direction, and he was talking, he's obviously had a lot of good teams, but he said that's what I love about high school soccer. It's a different year every year. He said that we had some guys last year that had been in the program so long and were so skilled that I didn't, you don't have to do as much teaching,
right.
but then this year you got, a lot of new faces, and so you get a chance to see things from that angle of it too. And don't get me wrong, everybody would love to have a team that's winning almost every game and contending for the state tournament every year and all that. But it's, I think, to be a good coach, you have to deal with the quote-unquote rebuilding years a little bit too.
Yeah, I think he's almost relishing that role this year, because he's, like you said, he's had these good teams, and now he has to build them. But then he says, but then I get to build them the way I want them, so I can teach them.
Jabbed away from Duke, and I like too with Coach Anthony with Armstrong coming in, and he had been an assistant for 4 years, and one of the things he talked about is there you could look at Marcus, a Cooper graduate from the other school in the high school in the Robbinsdale district, of course, and has been in this program as an assistant. And he said one of the things he talked about, it sounds simple, but boy, it's refreshing to hear, is he said, I've really been stressing, we've got to stay positive all the time.
Yes.
Whether we're down a little bit or something isn't going right on a particular night or whatever, you have to kind of trust the process, trust that the coaches are going to do the right things for you. We're trying to teach and just stay with each other as teammates, and ultimately things will work out a lot better that way. I mean, that doesn't guarantee you wins or anything like that, but it's got to be a great approach for working with young athletes.
Oh, absolutely. I like the approach, and I think the athletes do also. They know that they're not under pressure to be, focusing only on winning, although winning is obviously what you want to do, but they know that they have to develop, and they know that the coach is going to be looking at the plays. They'll be looking at this game and see where they have to make some adjustments.
Get a throw coming up here for the Falcons, as you saw Joshua Abadu-Bensi had checked in there, number 13 for Grace. And now Armstrong will try and get something going here as they get one of their real few times fairly deep into Grace territory here. This will be a free kick from right along the sideline after that knockdown.
It's about 40 yards out, so everybody is lined up or bunched together on the left side of the goal area. And now everybody scrambles.
To the front, an opportunity, but a defender right there to block it, so we will get a throw coming up here for Armstrong. Past the halfway point of this opening half here, and no score on the board. Armstrong's in red. Totino-Grace is in white here from Armstrong. A new scoreboard at Armstrong. You can see in the background there. Got the animated soccer ball up there, the video edition. So a goal kick for Conforti.
Yeah, this is a nice field. I was just thinking, wasn't too many years ago, Jay, we were out here when this was torn up pretty good because the football players had torn it up. Then we played soccer, and it was a little bit chippy. This is nice.
I thought you were going to say since we were at Milky Field. And I say, well, now that has been a while, say.
Yeah. I'm at this field.
Yeah.
We're dating ourselves here.
Yeah, this is the second turf that they've had here at Armstrong, too. So it has been quite a few years since it was grass.
Yes, it was.
Armstrong finishing a substitution is Nathan Orr, number 14, coming in. I think one thing we're seeing, at least from talking to coaches so far, is this year roster setup might be slightly different because the teams want to stick with what they chose at the beginning, not having players, because of COVID, not having players moving up and down from JV to varsity. Not that it can't happen, but I think the ideal plan is they don't want it to, just trying to keep people in quote-unquote the same pods that they've been with throughout the season to limit spread if somebody did happen to have the virus. Drops it back there. McCoy now leaving it for Duke, but good idea, but they just didn't quite execute, so it'll be a throw coming here for Totino-Grace. Throw in for Grace after they retrieve it here. Jack Krieger unable to control that one, so Armstrong will get it. Duke looking ahead with that one, and it's pounded up into the stands there by Joe Morey of the Eagles. So another throw forthcoming. Duke will bring this one in. Comes short with it there. Nice work there to get that ball back. Peter Cliff jumping in there for Grace. Now here comes Cole with a little speed. Cole pushing it ahead. Defender cut him off, but he keeps possession.
I think the defender had a little bit of push in the back, but nothing called. And it looks like a shoe just came flying off.
Another look. Watch Cole get a little separation there, stepping between.
Just, he did get past. There's a little bit of a shove, but nice run by Cole.
Results in a free kick here, and Morey will line it up here for Totino-Grace. Chipping it into the wall there. Eagles got a little piece of it, but now sent ahead. Foul call coming here against Armstrong. So
Ouch.
Grace will get another free kick.
From almost the same spot. Actually, it's closer in. It'll be 25 yards out.
Yeah, pretty much dead center in the middle of the field too, so kind of gives you more options in that regard as well. And Armstrong, a little explanation. I admit I didn't really see exactly what led to that one. They got the steal, but it wasn't cleanly so, apparently.
Yeah, there was just too much traffic to see what transpired. But here we have the customary move, the player's back to 10 yards. Shot, field goal.
Way up and over the top. Missed opportunity there as Prince Cole did not hit that one how he wanted to. Armstrong's going to go quick with it as Aguado just swings it out. Now Duke. McCoy will throw it in. Actually, he won't. He'll leave it for Noah Duke. Or excuse me, Elijah Duke. Another throw coming for Armstrong. They've kind of balanced the field out a little bit here in these last 10 minutes or so, Sig. Again, it hasn't really led to anything that you'd call a chance, but at least they've been able to see what things look like on this end of the field a little bit more here as the half has worn on.
I'm sure they're glad to get on the other side of the field for a change.
Duke bringing it in here. You can kind of see, you know, not that we're saying it's going to be this way all night, but the 0-0s from the other night doesn't look as, you know, terribly surprising based on what we've seen in the first half. Solid play, but nothing that's really been able to break free and get, you know, one of those grade A chances so far on either end.
Yeah, the defense, well, when you have young teams like this, the defenses are the ones that stand out and have the advantage. When you're on offense, you're still trying to figure out what your plays are. And your midfielders have to be able to read the defense and see what they give you. So you're right, not that surprising, but they are moving the ball up and down the field. It's the last 15 yards have been really tough.
Up the left side, they'll come. Had some success early working that side of the field. Now playing it through, the race is on. Aguado calls off his teammate and slides out to grab it. Good aggressive decision there. Those are the kind that you better make sure you get it though.
Don't make a mistake, but yeah, you need to be aggressive. You need to get out there. Wow, what a nice kick.
Yeah, it almost makes me wonder, either he's got a really strong leg or that wind's a little bit stronger than when I first thought, because he has really gotten into it, a couple of them.
I just checked, the wind is out of the west at 9 miles an hour. So not that much of a factor. That's just...
No, and you wouldn't think so. I mean, that he's kicking from south to north really there too, but yeah, a good strong leg. Falcons trying to work the ball through a little traffic. Leesman nearly had the takeaway. Now the Eagles will come up with it. Pittman turning it into the middle there for Morey. Send ahead up the left side, and long run could not keep it in play there. Abadou Bensi not quite able to track that one down. So Aguado will boot this one out here for Armstrong. He's come short a few times with it when he sees a great opportunity. It's tempting when you got that strong leg to really send it down the field, but also they like to see if they can, you know, try and get start from the back and work the ball up.
Yeah, you have to work on the counter.
Controlled there by Miller, but then that pass nearly stolen, bounces around. Eagles wind up with it with Roddy Hood and then chipped ahead. Eagles, I think, overall have been the slightly more physical team here. They've come aggressive at loose balls, whereas Armstrong has, but you see in a couple times where you can kind of tell guys are a little younger, that, you know, not quite as aggressive or not quite as strong to the ball on a few occasions anyway.
Yep, maybe they're still a little bit tentative for now, but they'll get over that.
Swanson trying to turn and go, slams on the brakes and then met a double team and had it taken away. Nice job there by Armstrong. But Eagles quickly winning that ball back. Play it back here to Castro. That one was a little dangerous. It wasn't quite as easy of a play as maybe they first thought. It did work out, but now Leesman with the steal. Although I do applaud that you don't just panic and attempt to bang it out of your end any first sign of trouble either. Roller down low, and he's hoping that ball will get over the line. You don't want to risk giving them a corner kick by... And you're seeing right there that Castro, I think, was saying, hey, come on, he was all over me there. But it results in a goal kick. And those are the kind of plays that sometimes as a defender you kind of have to just take that a little bit. You're trying to shield off forward from getting to the ball. You might get banged around a little bit, but he did the right thing. Aguado sending it up toward Duke. Eagles got the quick takeaway though. Leesman looking for Swanson. Swanson able to knock it free. Ooh, and then it pinballs back and forth off of Jack Halverson. Chip to the front here. Ooh, and Aguado charging out as Kuffel was there and almost got an opportunity to get a head or maybe a chest on that ball even.
Yeah, Aguado again coming out quickly and aggressively.
McCoy worked his way through a couple defenders with ease there. Nice little move, but you're seeing Armstrong most of the time in opportunities like that, they're outnumbered badly. Here's another look at this. Ball will be chipped to the front nicely there by Wolf. And boy, I really thought for a moment that Kuffel was going to get there before the keeper did.
I was surprised and amazed at how quickly he got there.
Eagles will bang it long up the field, try and let Swanson run to it. And it will result in a throw for Grace. Swanson dropping it back. Leesman will give it over to Morey. Morey has a little room to work with here in the middle of the field. Leesman got by the defender, but then got the ball out front of himself more than he wanted to there. And that'll be a hold against Morey as he hooked Armstrong player trying to get up the field there. I was just saying a moment ago, when Armstrong, on occasion when they've been able to force a turnover or whatever, they've been having to defend so much that they just don't have the numbers up. And usually when they've gotten a brief opportunity, it's like 2 against 4 or 1 against 4, and they just haven't been able to possess long enough to really bring the numbers up.
Yeah, the counterattack just kind of a little bit slow in getting up there.
Broken up, but then Castro gains it back here. Nice move for Armstrong. Now to McCoy. Here's a little opportunity, playing it through for Duke, and Conforti will come out to get that one as Pittman was there to try and keep Duke from getting to that ball as well. So not a big chance, but by this game standard, something that got everybody's
getting excited,
blood pressure up a little bit, as we have really not had scoring chances to speak of in this game at all yet.
No, we still have not had a shot on goal, and we have just over 4 minutes to go in the half.
Deba coming back in for Grace. Falcons able to get the steal here, and they will use their defender. Now Duke. Boy, you see the Eagles, they just don't concede anything on the way up and out.
Oh, you got to work for it.
Long pass ahead here, and Kane decides he needs to clear that one out, and this will give Armstrong a little bit of an opportunity to set something up offensively. Looking to McCoy, and had that one taken away. Blocked it though on the way out. McCoy up with it. Not for long.
Good takeaway.
Kuffel trying to play it around the Armstrong player, and then sent ahead though by Halverson. Hunt has a little space here. Nice ball over. And a good recovery defensively there by Kane. It looked like that was definitely going to be a shot attempt.
That was an excellent defensive move by Kane. And got a clean shot, so he didn't give up a PK. Armstrong now putting on some pressure.
Trip called there, and looks like he could be reaching for a yellow card, and is. See this ball ahead here to
nice.
Tyson Stevenson, and Armstrong wanted a foul call there. You said clean, they were thinking not, and I think that's kind of what led to this. yellow card infraction. Yeah, oh yeah, right there. Stevenson definitely was on purpose, and that is the reason for the yellow card there. And I think Coach Anthony right now is kind of pleading his case. He's probably not happy with what Tyson did. However, he's kind of standing up for saying, you know, the original play could have been a call against Grace.
Right.
Sometimes as a coach, even when you don't agree with your player, you sort of
stand up for the team.
You stand up for them and make them feel like you're, you know, looking out for them, and talk to the official a little bit on their behalf too.
Yep, that's a good thing. But on the replay, we can see that there was contact with the ball before the contact with the leg, so that was a legal tackle by definition.
Throw coming here for Armstrong, and again, they've had, you know, a little bit more control and possession in the Eagles' end, definitely in the latter part of this half, after really not having any in the first 25 minutes or so. Takeaway here for Grace's Deba. Now around to Cuffle, and looking to get a return pass here, and does. Tried to sneak that one through. Would have been interesting if it was onside or not, as Cole was kind of walking the line there. He was trying to stay patient enough to be onside. And that's sometimes, you know, when the more you play with each other, you figure those things out too, because Cole, I'm sure in his mind he was thinking he was really open, but the angle wasn't really there that much. He was away from a defender, but it was a tough ball to get through. And this will be a foul call against Swanson, and he's going to get a little talking to. And Armstrong will get a free kick opportunity out of it here as we tick down toward a minute to play in this first half. Kind of have the feeling that maybe if and when somebody breaks through, it might be off a set play, a free kick or corner kick opportunity, because there just hasn't been a ton of offense generated otherwise. Here's a nice ball, though, to head to Duke. That shot was blocked, and then the clearing attempt hit another Grace player.
Armstrong getting the ball back into play really quick.
Another throw coming this time for Grace with about 35 seconds to go in the half.
And you can see things getting a bit physical down on the field now.
Oh boy, near turnover there, and the Eagles are going to hammer it out. And all of a sudden, you know, after looking really pretty smooth defensively for most of the half, all of a sudden they're like, we got to just get to halftime here. And now this one will be a goal kick, and that should eat up most of the remaining time in this first half here. Conforti looks like he's trying to hurry to get this one in. I don't really think he should, though.
No, at this point, take the 0-0 tie and be for the half and be happy with it.
So we have come to halftime here at Armstrong High School, and our score in this one, no score. And not a lot of chances really for either side here. Armstrong and Totino-Grace at zeros. We'll come back with a look at some of the first half action, and then our second half of soccer coming up here as these teams each looking for their first goal of the season here in game number 2.
Hi, I'm John Jacobson from CCX Media, and this is our production truck that we roll out of our garage hundreds of times each year. Now, we use this for corporate events, concerts in the park, and other music events, city parades, and of course over 150 high school games here in the northwest suburbs that we televise each year. Let's go take a tour now of what this truck looks like on the inside. Now let us show you some of the equipment that is involved in putting together a TV broadcast here at CCX, starting with our video production switcher. Now this is where our director will sit during a game or an event event that you may be watching online or on our channel. He'll be here pushing the buttons, switching cameras when you watch a game and see it go from one shot to another. That all happens here, where he has to punch a certain button to get to another camera or to call up a replay, bring in a graphic. All of that happens here through the production switcher. This is our video replay system that we use at CCX. Now, our replay operator will sit near the director, and he or she will be able to see all the video that were being inputted from our different cameras and be able to find the best replays. And when you watch a game and we replay a great play that just happened and analyze it on TV, it all happens here, and the replay operator has to be quick on their feet and pick out which shot is the best. And oftentimes we'll have multiple replays of a great basket or touchdown or whatever it is, and that person can see all the different replay options they have from the cameras that we have set up. They can also build video highlight packages that will run at halftime or at the end of a game or between periods of a game, depending on the sport, and other video pieces. It all happens here at the replay system. As important as video is to a television production, so too is audio. And this is the board that our audio engineers will sit at during a telecast, during one of our games. They control the mic levels and the mics themselves for the announcers of a game they might be watching. They can also play music, say under some of those replays that we talked about before, or going into a break, just by hitting a number of different music selections that we have up here. Also, any commercials that play, the audio for those commercials will play out of this board as well. So a very important component of what we do here at CCX during our productions. Our truck also supports 5 broadcast quality cameras with full control here in the truck of the color, brightness, and a variety of other things that make that video rich to you at home. Finally, this is our graphics station. This is where our graphics operator will sit during a game, bringing up graphics, say a player's name during a game, maybe their statistics to that point, full screen graphics as we call them, with high school rankings or standings, as well as what we call the score bug. And that is when you turn into a game wanting to know what the score is, how much time is left. It's right there on your screen pretty much all the time. That happens here at this station as well. So graphics, obviously a huge part of watching a game or an event that we produce here at CCX. So there you have it. Now you know a little bit more about what goes into the production of a CCX event. Hope you've enjoyed it. I'm John Jacobson.
Welcome back. There's a look at some Grace fans across the way watching this one as Totino-Grace and Armstrong 0-0 here at halftime of the boys telecast, and we'll take a look at some of the action from the first half. I kind of struggle to call it highlights really, because in terms of scoring chances there just really wasn't any, but opportunities here as that pass nearly got through, and see it spin away from the keeper a little bit. Conforti feeling good that nobody from Armstrong was around. Swanson really stood out in this first half for Grace. That time, you know, the ball got away from him a little bit, but boy, he had a lot of nice plays, including another one right there, and then playing the ball up the side to Cole. Some nice connections in the early going for Grace there. You see 3-4 passes really on target, but not quite able to get one. And here's Cole showing his speed as he zipped through a couple players, little jersey tug, little push. But ultimately, he got a free kick out of that. It didn't result in a scoring chance, but this might be one of the best chances of the half there, as that was actually a nice cross there, and just Aguado just beating Cuffle to it. And then Armstrong, boy, I really thought they were going to get a great shot there, and instead a sliding tackle, and then Stevenson didn't like the previous one very much, and so he wound up with a little bit of a kick there, and was issued a yellow as we get a look at our first half stats.
And not surprisingly, pretty low on shots. 1 for the Falcons, 3 for the Eagles. Nobody got a shot on goal in the first half. 7 fouls on the Falcons and 6 on the Eagles. Nobody had a corner kick.
Yeah, and that as much maybe even as the shots on goal tells you that there hasn't been a ton of offense when you don't see corners on either side. So both teams a chance to kind of talk to their coaches and adjust a little bit and figure out, okay, maybe here's what we can do, kind of probe their defense a little bit and see if we can get something a little bit different going. On the plus side, neither team has much to be disappointed about on the defensive side of things. So we will take a timeout here. We are at 0-0, Armstrong and Totino-Grace. Halftime of the boys' game. The girls' game can be seen as well here on CCX. We'll be right back.
It is normal, even healthy, to feel stress. But the coronavirus has many people worried about health, work, and the future. That stress can add up and make you sick. Some signs of too much stress are sleeping too much or not enough, eating too much or not enough, headaches, stomach aches, or rashes, and feelings of disbelief, fear, or irritability. If you find yourself with any of these symptoms, take a break to just breathe. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Repeat this 4-7-8 breathing pattern 3 to 4 times. For more mental health resources, visit NAMI.org/coronavirus.
We change ends and get set to begin half number 2 here as Totino-Grace in white, Armstrong in red here at Armstrong High School as 0-0 at halftime. And here we go. We'll see if anything changes here, get some little more offensive spark for these teams in the second half. For the first, probably 2/3 of the half, I'd say Grace clearly had the better of things, but Armstrong started to get something going a little bit later in the half, and at least made Totino-Grace a little bit nervous on a couple of occasions late. I mean, again, not anything really resembling a legit scoring chance, but still. And here come the Falcons in the early going of the second here as Hunt was tripped up, and going to be a free kick coming for Armstrong. And he's a little bit shaken up still.
Yeah, he was reaching for his leg. And
McCoy lining it up here for this free kick. Drilled that one right into an Eagles player there.
I don't think Hunt is 100%. He's a little bit slow getting back.
And it's that fine line because you want your player to want to be out there, but at the same time you want him to be honest. If he's going to be hobbled, it might need to come out a moment. But got away a good pass there. Went over to the right looking for Nathan Orr, and broken up and cleared out of there by the Eagles Wolf. But another throw in upcoming, and this is, as we said, this is definitely progress for Armstrong in terms of their offense. They hadn't had much in the first 20 to 25 minutes, and just slowly but surely in the later part of the first half doing a good job of generating a little bit more.
And they've come out the first minute of the second half being aggressive and controlling the ball, putting some pressure on the Eagle defense.
This will be a throw for Totino-Grace. Again, for fans who haven't heard as much about the high school soccer this season, season shortened from 16 games to 11 due to COVID-19. Unsure about playoffs right now. I think there's definitely some doubt whether there will be, and especially not a state tournament. But again, that's to be determined. Also no overtime either, so these little bit of adjustments, but I think just the general feeling of everybody we come up to is that, hey, we're happy to be playing at all. Obviously, there was some thought that they may not be able to, and their classmates who are football or volleyball players know how that feels.
Yeah, and you're right. I think everybody involved is happy that they got something to come out and enjoy.
And in one way, I kind of like the little bit of old school part of it, that the conference title might really mean a lot this year. Whereas for a lot of teams now, it's kind of like, well, you know, it'd be okay to win, but it's really the section title and into the state tournament that you want. But
exactly, because the conference play just gives you the seeding for the section, but the sections is what gets you into the tournament. So yeah, you're right. The conference championship is going to be a key factor. It could be the only thing.
To the front, and Aguado able to get to that one, as they did a pretty nice job of giving him some space to come out and grab it up here.
I think that's the first shot on goal of the match.
Falcons working it back, but a quick takeaway there by Wolf. Swanson back for Wes Peterson, chipping that one high into the middle. Roddy Hood circling over and dropped the ball off there to Morey. Swanson receiving that one nicely. Swanson trying to sneak that ball through to Roddy Hood. Looked like they might get something there. Swanson, he's aggressive and he's strong, but he also really does a nice job receiving passes. I mean, he squares up to the ball and gives you a good target. Sent long up the side. And he's going to use his keeper there as Kane drops it back to Conforti. Nice ball up the right side here. But then a turnover. Falcons are going to work it all the way back to Aguado. Battle in the air, and ultimately it winds up now with McCoy. Conforti is going to come right out to the edge of the box and then scoop that one up. And that was a little kind of an indicator of how things have been tonight. Just like, oh, we had an idea and it's just not going to click. And same thing the other way. As Cuffle comes running in, Aguado easily beats him to the ball.
And distributes the ball nicely.
And that's the thing, you don't want to get impatient and just start banging the ball long. But then again, at some point, you know, you need to generate offense, and occasionally you might say, well, it might be worth the gamble. It's not the prettiest soccer around to just kick the ball long and hope your guy wins the race, but if that's what it takes, you might be willing to do that at least a time or two. Conforti will swing it over to Wolf. Wolf getting the return pass now. For Peterson, he chipped it ahead. Foul call against Armstrong as Peterson made that pass. Ryan Kane will line it up here for the free kick. Nice ball out to the outside, and now Swanson coming to meet that one. Armstrong wanted a handball, didn't get it. And a big collision. Things definitely got more physical later in that first half, and
it's carried over, hasn't it?
It's a battle. Nice move up the side here by Miller, and then he was taken down. It will be a free kick here for Armstrong.
So far, that combination of McCoy and Miller have been pretty effective. We're just climb right over his back.
I think the fact that Miller kind of slammed on the brakes there made that look a little worse than it was. I think it was definitely a foul, but when I first saw it, I thought, wow, Pittman really ran him over there, and he kind of did, but it was partly because the offensive player really slowed down to survey the field a little bit. Going to get a corner kick coming up out of this one, so Armstrong will get their first opportunity on the corner.
Yep, first corner kick of the match, surprisingly.
Wonder if the sun might be a little bit of an issue too for the keeper on the ball coming from this side of the field.
Yeah, from this corner, I would say, yeah, that's going to be a factor because he's looking right into that sun.
Nathan Hunt taking this corner kick here for the Falcons. He's going to go low on the ground with it. And they still have an opportunity to do something. But Grace quickly converges, blocked by Kuffel. And Cooley sending it ahead, but Eagles get it back. Physical battle along the side there, and now we get a foul call against Armstrong as Swanson of Grace was knocked down.
Yeah, that was a matter of time before they called something because they were just really battling for the ball.
Eagles put it quickly into play, trying to catch Armstrong off guard there. Now Wolf. Pass knocked away, and McCoy trying to send it out. Now this time they'll just boot it long. And off the head of Kane. Now he's got to be careful with it here. And ends up almost losing it. Let's see, I guess it was off Grace. It will be a throw for Armstrong as Micah Miller pressured him. And Kane, you're too far out really to feel safe kicking it back to the keeper, I think. So he just kind of had to do what he could there to not turn it over. Albrecht throwing it in there, but a nice takeaway by Hood. And then a re-steal there for Armstrong's Albrecht. So it'll be a throw for the Falcons here. We've played a little under 10 minutes here into the second half. No score on the board here as Totino-Grace plays at Armstrong. Again, both teams had 0-0 ties on Monday night as well in their season openers. So whoever scores here, it's going to be the first goal of the year for his team.
It'd be a celebration en masse. Well, I did make a mistake on the temperature for our friends in Illinois. It's 79 degrees in sunny Minnesota.
Asbeck coming back in here for Totino-Grace. Throw in there, and it goes off the center referee.
So he stops. I think it's going to be a drop ball.
Yeah.
Yep.
Chipped ahead here, Falcons. Again, trying to get some offense going. There is Kane stepping up to knock it out. Peterson bumped around. Boy, you're not going to go far without running into a body here in this second half. Guys are getting after it.
Yeah, for either team, you don't get a chance to really set something up because the defense is on you almost immediately.
And at times, you know, they've tried to use that to your advantage if they're being real aggressive, but it generally just hasn't quite worked out enough for it to be a scoring chance. McCoy putting it out front. Here's an opportunity.
What a
Duke
nice.
had that one blocked by Leesman. Otherwise, he had a pretty good rip at it from about 15 yards out.
Leesman was right there to knock it out.
Here's an opportunity the other way for the Eagles walking in. Oh, there's Aguado, a huge stop on Hood. Well, we get our best chances probably for each team right back to back as Hood was denied on that one by Aguado coming out, a partial breakaway chance there. Now a turnaround try here and rolled in. There's another look as you get a look first. Armstrong getting an opportunity, and boy, I thought this shot was going to be a real test. Instead, the defender, Leesman, got there to block it.
And then the transition to the counter was quick. Here he comes running down the, oh wow, Aguado just made a beautiful diving save. That was impressive.
Good example of why you have to be fearless to be a keeper there too. You're coming charging out at somebody who's moving at pretty high speed, and I'm sure when Hood sees that again, he'll be thinking, gosh, if I had just been able to sidestep him, I would have had a wide open net, but easier said than done.
Exactly, and again, Aguado comes out so quickly and so aggressively, it's difficult to try to sit there and second guess him.
Well, we certainly got a little offensive action going there at both ends, and a little bit of sign of hope, I think, for the teams offensively here, and and for the hope of not having another tie too. As hopefully we can get one on the board here in the second half.
Exactly, and we went from 0 shots on goal to 3.
That one deflecting toward the corner, and Armstrong as Chilumbo Hamankuli deciding he needed to clear that ball out. He couldn't count on it going over the line, so we'll get a throw here for Totino-Grace. Didn't want to give up a corner kick there, so he said, I better just go ahead and clear this ball. Leesman will take the corner, or the throw in, excuse me. And this one will result in a corner right after, as a little battle for it, and the header went out of play. So Grace will get an opportunity with the corner kick as Joe Morey setting things up.
Their first corner of the match.
Going to go short with it to Cole, and then right back for Morey. To the front, but miss-hit. Falcons will clear it for the moment anyway, but still an opportunity, and that one a little left-footed hook. Not really a shot, more of a pass, but Aguado will come out and grab it up here for Armstrong. And again, we saw a very strong leg from Aguado in that first half. Falcons able to win this ball back and have some opportunity here. McCoy chipping it ahead. The race is on. And Pittman is going to get there first ahead of Jeremiah Pony. But it will be a throw for Armstrong.
Boy, he cleared it up pretty good. It ended up in the woods.
Duke will trigger it in. Come right back toward him now. Pony dropping it off for Duke. And Cooley sending it ahead. Armstrong trying to keep the pressure on and get something going offensively here. Tried a little give and go, but too much traffic and it's broken up. Eagles quickly transitioning toward offense.
Well, they still managed to keep their counter going.
Clearing try was knocked down. Now they drop it back for Cole. Cole looking for a little room.
Being marked up pretty tight. Not getting a chance to get a cross.
Pony playing it to the outside, but his teammate Jacobson had vacated the area, so a throw coming for Totino-Grace. Asbeck chasing this one down, and they'll get themselves reset here. Knocked away from Hood. Leesman was there. And this will be a throw coming up here for Armstrong. Both teams will have a little bit of time off before they get back onto the field again. Tuesday the 8th, they'll both be returning to action here. So this game being played on Wednesday night, and so 6 days of rest here, the Labor Day weekend, and then back to it. Cleared out of play. We get a throw coming for Armstrong. Talking to some of the coaches this year, they, there's certain bad points, I think, to having the season shortened, but they did say that sometimes 3 games a week got to be a little bit much.
Yes.
On the weeks that you had, 3, that you were kind of feeling a little bit burdened in terms of both physically, but also not having any practice time. So a lot of them were, kind of okay with the 2 games per week part. The only thing is, you sometimes maybe lost sort of a key rival that you like to face, or a section opponent. Oh, a great takeaway there by Hammond Cooley.
Who just stood his ground and literally picked the pocket.
Sending it long up the middle there. Kane bangs it high in the air, but Hunt briefly had it, taken from him though by Morey. Now the Eagles. Seeing just a little bit more open field in the second half. We'll see if that ultimately leads to somebody getting chances out of it, as Abadou Bensi couldn't control that one from going out of play. There's a look at what Grace has coming up, as they'll be heading to Anoka on the 8th, and then their other game next week is against Andover. Play Park Center on the 15th. Again, we hope all these games get in, and varying levels of concern about that happening from coaches that I've spoken to. Some of them, it's the first thing they mention is, we'll be lucky to get in any, and some of them are, just relatively confident that things are going well so far, but we'll see.
Yeah, they're trying to be optimistic, but there are too many unknowns here. And the good news is it's an outside activity. People are staying apart. We're looking at the fans, for the most part, are wearing masks. And except for an occasional little cluster, most people are staying distanced.
I would have to disagree with the most are wearing masks.
I said some.
I said some, and it's not required while they're sitting in the bleachers. Right. It's while coming in and while near others is kind of the guideline. But near takeaway there, but then that one grabbed back by Cole, blocked. Again, what I was talking about, you're not going to go very far before you're bumping into somebody and having to battle to keep possession. And that's a good thing, that the compete level is high. You just, don't want to hurt your team by taking unnecessary fouls too.
And a close game like this one, where the scoring opportunities are between slim and none, you don't want to give up too many fouls in your own territory. Give these sub plays an opportunity.
Morey into traffic, and Aguado again has smooth sailing to go out and get that one.
Boy, I love that move. You got the right word. Smooth, and sailed right in there like, I got this one, no problem.
Falcons had a little run going, and then Pittman coming up with an aggressive knockdown. Pittman, I think, is going to get a yellow card, and he is. Here's another look at Aguado coming out.
Look at that.
Just kind of weaving his way through traffic, and he's a relatively big keeper too, so I don't think you just get the feeling he's not really afraid of contact.
No, not at all.
Coming out on that ball either. So, yeah, Pittman got pretty aggressive there, and injury. Pittman getting the explanation now from coach. So Stevenson was a little banged up there, and it's going to be a free kick coming here. So Pittman had to check out with that yellow card. Grace able to knock that one down. Swanson now turning to play it. I haven't said his name quite as much in this second half. I thought he was maybe the best player on the field in the first half, number 11 for Grace. Hasn't had the ball on his foot quite as much here in the second half. And that'll be a foul against Cole as he tried to take that ball away. Morey banging it ahead. Pass drop back there. Falcons able to win it back. Chip to the front. Conforti able to squeeze that one. He had an Armstrong player in the vicinity, but not near enough to really bother him there. And here the race is on after that header goes a little bit awry, and Aguado was scrambling back toward his net. Swanson elected to try and get rid of it in a hurry and see if he could catch Aguado. Not able to get back, but didn't get much on it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he was trying to, ease the ball in, but it didn't make it. Here was another opportunity.
Swanson charging forward. Aguado comes out to meet it.
Now, is it going to be a PK?
Armstrong reacting as though that's going to be the call, and now we get a yellow card issued. Aguado. Oh, this isn't going to help their cause too, as Aguado is going to be sent off. As you'll see, this ball rolled ahead to Swanson.
I didn't see the foul. I mean, he did go underneath them, but
Armstrong coaches, I think,
they're
a little surprised that I think you generally would see the keeper get the benefit of the doubt on a ball like that.
Not this time. So the backup keeper.
Yeah, Joseph Peters Herbert coming in to.
Yeah, who just joined the team today. And for his first assignment, he's got to stop a PK. Wow.
It'll be Connor Swanson lining it up. So a little past the halfway point of the second half, we get a big development there. Is not only a penalty kick, but also the yellow card, so Aguado has to come out of there. Swanson, let's see if he can break the deadlock.
And here we go. It's a guessing game. He guess left, guess right.
And he missed it.
Oh, my goodness.
A wide open corner of the net, but did not quite tuck it inside the goalpost. And so Armstrong dodges a bullet there. Swanson the miss. And Aguado will now be permitted to come back in. So this will be an interesting tale to tell there, as Aguado didn't have to face that penalty kick. And now coming back in, as you get a look, it was clear he had him beat, but whether it was going to sneak inside the post or not quite, because Peters Herbert guessed and didn't guess, the correct corner that he was going for, but you can't blame him for that. He just had to try something, and Swanson would love to have that one to do again, obviously, but just didn't quite hit the net.
Well, the Armstrong fans were delighted to see that. Keeps the score at 0-0.
To the outside here for Wolf. Swanson, the Armstrong people wanted a handball there as it came up into his arm, and then a sliding tackle. The throw here coming up for Grace as Hamankuli got down hard on that one. Deflected out of play again. We'll get another throw coming here for the Eagles. So a very near miss. Oh, we're going to have a stoppage here. And Coach Anthony getting a little talking to here as he pleaded the case for, I think, on the maybe that handball or just kind of in general.
Probably in general.
Yeah, because that, I don't know, that.
It's getting a little rough right now.
Yeah, it is. But also that PK was, I don't know. I'm not going to say it wasn't the right call, but I would say more often than not, you see the keeper get the benefit of the call on that when there's a collision like that.
Yeah, as I said, I didn't see a clear foul unless he hit him after he was down.
Nice ball ahead here to Micah Miller.
At any rate, that's going to be a big lift for Armstrong because they were staring down the barrel of a 1-0 game.
Yeah, and you really, I mean, you kind of expect that a penalty kick is going to go in more often than not.
Yes.
That time it just didn't happen. So, yeah, the intensity of this game has just skyrocketed as we've gone here. And sometimes in a good way and not always, though. We're seeing quite a bit of physical play that's gone, you know, beyond the rules a little bit. Nothing really flagrant, but it's gotten a little rough.
Yeah, that's still enough to have an impact on the game.
Free kick here for the Falcons.
Sent it up to the line. And I battled for it. Now it pops out.
Duke trying to turn and go. Pittman is trying to stop him. Race is on here. And it's going to be a goal kick.
Goal kick, yep.
Armstrong again looking for a call there as Stevenson went down as Pittman bothered him.
Yeah, he tackled it enough to get the final contact off the Armstrong player for the goal kick.
To Cole. Cole battling past McCoy there.
Ooh, nobody on the right wing with him, so they lost possession.
Duke had that one knocked away. Wolf. That one glances away from Hood. Nathan Orr now controlling for the Falcons. McCoy dropping it off there. Jacobson playing it to the outside. Duke was held up there as he went around the defender, so we get a foul call against Grace. Free kick coming here for Armstrong. Header knocked away out of the danger zone here. The Eagles trying to get that ball up and out, but a nice step up to take it, and there's a blast that goes just a little bit over the top of the net. Generally going to be tough to score from that distance, but he got a lot on that. As you see what we've got coming up for you, obviously the girls game is coming up here on CCX as well, and then we've got girls swimming from the Lake Conference, and should be a really good doubleheader in Northwest Suburban Soccer on Tuesday as Maple Grove visits Champlain Park in the boys and girls doubleheader, and then Wayzata Eden Prairie following that the next week. So
good stuff coming up.
Yeah, plenty of good action there. As we said earlier, Champlain Park Maple Grove in the girls' side is a rematch of the state semifinals from last year. To the front it comes, Owen Aguado just knocking that one away at the last second from Wes Peterson.
What a play by Aguado, it's incredible.
And now we've got to stop for an injury, I believe. Yeah. There's another look at Aguado. We got, I think, cramps for a Totino-Grace player across the way there.
You gotta like Aguado. Guy is so cool, so relaxed in that keeper position.
Swanson is the injured Totino-Grace player, and I think definitely cramps from the way he was reacting there.
Well, that's the guy you don't want to take off the field. It's a good look at Aguado.
See what they've got on the docket here. Armstrong will be playing over at Osseo on Tuesday night of next week, and then at Blaine, and over Huskies the following Tuesday. So everybody going to take a little breath here for the kind of stretch run here after Swanson gets up to his feet. So we've had more drama here in the second half than the first, I would say for sure. A missed penalty kick not too awful long ago by Grace, and really big scoring chance that Aguado stopped a moment ago here as well. So Pass gets away and intercepted by Jacobson. Grawl controlling it for the Falcons and drops it back. Gonna chip it long up the middle for Miller. Stevenson trying to keep possession. Got bounced around a little bit there. This one will roll through. And charging out is the keeper Conforti to grab it up here for Totino-Grace. He'll sling it out left for Wolf. Wolf trying to go long for Peterson. Falcons will end up clearing it out. We get a throw coming, but an Armstrong, I think he might have turned his ankle a little bit there. I guess it could be cramps, but the way he reacted, it almost seemed more like he twisted his ankle along the sideline there, Nathan Orr.
He may have, when he stepped out, he may have just twisted that left foot a little bit. And he's off the field. Play continues.
Chip to the middle and knocked away. Get a throw coming here for Grace. Knocked back. Leesman has a little bit of space to get away across, but not really near an Eagle jersey there. And now Kane stepping forward, and two-hopper in there. No trouble for Aguado to grab that one up. Kind of get the sense, too, of these teams. I mean, it's logical that they're both getting sort of a little impatient to try and score and maybe taking a little longer shots than what would be ideal on a couple of occasions, but
yeah, the clock is running with just under 10 minutes. So I think either team recognizes that one goal will probably win the game.
Morey trying to work his way through a couple of Falcons there and almost taken back cleanly by Hood, and then he went down to his knees. Wolf receiving the ball here. And that pass attempt deflected, but Peterson will get it. To the front. Cole trying to get a shot. Cole fires. Oh, it's just deflected wide. That one looked like it might be our icebreaker. As Cole turned, got just a little bit of space, but it deflected just wide. It'll be a corner kick for Grace. Another look at this one as he found himself with just a little bit of room, and Aguado got his foot on it. So that was another nice save by Aguado. Corner kick into traffic. Falcons can't quite clear. And now on the second opportunity, they'll knock it out of play. We get a throw coming up here for the Eagles. Leesman coming over to take the throw here for Grace. Turnover forced and sent ahead by Wolf, but I don't know that Peterson's going to be able to get there. He cannot. It'll be a throw in for Armstrong.
Yeah, looking down on the Armstrong bench, Moore is still nursing that left ankle.
Eagles force a quick turnover, but then that one broken up. Peterson will drop it off now. Wolf looking to Cole, and now it's Hood in the middle of traffic. Got a shot, but it was snuffed out there by the defender.
It looks like Totino-Grace is trying to get a shot up the middle, but the Armstrong defense is right there waiting for him.
There's a one-hopper off the left foot of Peterson. Yeah, again, for Grace, you like that, they're generating a little bit here now anyway. They're working the ball pretty well, but still, again, not able to get anything quite past Aguado.
See, they moved the ball really well. get down about 15 yards out, and the Armstrong defense, they are playing a 3-5-2, but they really morph into a 4-4-3.
You see, Armstrong too, I think it's been kind of their game plan to lay off and not necessarily pressure that ball out high, but then just have a nice wall in there that's really tough to make it that last way through.
Right, and the big thing for Armstrong defense is that they're doing a good job of staying home. They're staying in their position. They're not going to be pulled out of the way for an easy shot.
Throw in for the Falcons. Looked ahead up the sideline. It was blocked there by Israel Mana. But second try got it back into Falcons territory. It'll be a throw coming here for Grace. Grace is kind of retaking control again here late down the stretch. They have definitely had the better of any chances here in the second half. After really a relatively chance-free first half for either team. Pittman banging it up that toward the sideline, but intercepted. Mana coming back to get it here for Armstrong, but let's see, that ball will get out of play. A throw coming for Grace.
Fighting for the ball at this stage of the game, because every possession is important.
Knocked away from Albrecht, and here come the Eagles. Looking for Peterson long up the left side here. He's kind of on his own for the moment, but does a nice job cutting it back, leaving it to Hood. Hood fires, and there is Aguado making a chest-high catch on that one. And comes out again. Grace, not a bad generation of offense. I mean, I'm not going to say that was a particularly difficult save, but still generated a shot on.
A little bit of a shove. That's going to be
knock there. Wasn't quite shoulder to shoulder, so we get the little verbal warning there to Jack Krieger. So get a free kick coming up here for Armstrong, ticking down to where they may not get a whole lot more chances here. So would like to at least push the ball deep into Grace's end and see if you can generate something from there. A little over 4 minutes, or a little under 4 minutes now, I should say, to go in the contest. Peterson trapping it down to himself. Got hemmed in a little bit, and it's going to result in a turnover. So we get a throw here for Armstrong. Subbing back in for the Falcons is Micah Miller. I was going to say, we haven't, for as warm a day it's been, we haven't really seen all that much substitution in this game. So guessing there's some probably guys that are a little bit tired out there, especially as we talked about it the other night, didn't have the normal summer of soccer, and probably the consensus from the coaches I've spoken to said, yes, it's true that we're not quite as in shape as we would normally be late August, early September like this. And that one goes out of play. We will get a throw coming for the Eagles as they look to push the tempo up. Have to say right now it kind of appears that they are less tired than Armstrong. Maybe that's just in part because they've had the better of the offense, but
yeah, I don't know. Seems like Totino-Grace has gotten a lot more momentum in the last 7 or 8 minutes.
Taken away from Leesman nicely.
That was a pretty takeaway.
We're all getting it into the middle, and there's McCoy sending it long. And Conforti, just for a second, thought about booting that ball because he wasn't entirely sure it was going to have enough on it to reach him in a good fashion there, but was able to wait and boot it downfield. I think that was offside. And so a free kick coming here for Armstrong as we go under 2 minutes to play now in the contest. 0-0, and as we saw on the screen a moment ago, no overtime sessions this year. So kind of almost like it's sudden death right now, really.
It is, yes.
Falcons able to get possession.
Being bothered there by Pittman, can't get any kind of a pass or a cross.
Falcons will go back with it here, and
both teams have been really tight on defense.
boomed up the middle, and Conforti will get there. Boy, that play looked like it was going to be onside as McCoy waited just long enough, and for a split second it seemed as though he might have a breakaway chance, but the ball had a little bit too much on it and got all the way back to the keeper. They're going to play it back to Aguado here. Under a minute to go. Not sure that was really the play to make there for Armstrong.
No, he could have picked it up and distributed the ball more accurately. Hope this doesn't make him pay big time. Totino-Grace maintaining possession.
Drop back here, Leesman. Ooh, and a sliding tackle there by McCoy.
Boy, I love watching McCoy play. He's just so aggressive.
Yeah, he's got a pretty good game for Armstrong. Man, able to win that ball there for the Falcons. Dropped off.
25 seconds to go.
Eagles gonna knock it. Might not quite get out of play now. It is shoved over the line by Wolf. We'll get a throw for Armstrong. Gonna stop the clock there. Wolf appeared to get in the way of that ball intentionally as they tried to bring it. Now they restart the clock though. I wonder if Armstrong realizes it. They've got to hurry it up here. Hunt comes to the front of the net, but nobody there for Armstrong. And this one is going to tick down. And for the second straight evening, both of these teams are going to wind up playing to 0-0 ties. We definitely had more possibility of scoring in that second half. And Armstrong dodging one as that guy Swanson just missed on a penalty kick that looked as though it might put Grace in the lead, but instead it was a very near miss. So both teams had some good things to be happy about, but not able to generate enough to put anything on the board here, Sig. So it'll be interesting to see how their seasons shake out. Definitely, less veteran teams than maybe what they both had last year, but still some potential, I would say, for sure on both sides.
Well, I agree. I think they have some really good players that came and showed their prowess and their skill sets. So I think they both have a pretty good chance of doing well in the rest of the season. They just got to get the rest of this finishing issue taken care of, and they'll be just fine.
So we hope you've enjoyed this telecast. We don't get a winner out of it. It's a tie game here as Armstrong and Totino-Grace at 0-0. So both teams now 0-0-2 on the season. Again, we invite you to watch for the girls telecast as well here on CCX. That'll do it for this one. For Sig Lagery and all of our crew, I'm Jay Wilcox. Your final, Totino-Grace and Armstrong tie at 0-0.